144 years ago, the visionary artist Pablo Picasso was born. A Spanish painter and sculptor, he had trouble getting out of bed in the morning and usually spent the afternoon conversing and drinking with friends. But in the evening, he worked prolifically on his surrealistic cubist artwork in France. Watch a short bio video to see his paintings and learn more about his creative. After his youth working in the traditional style of painting, he was motivated by the innovative work of fellow artist Henri Matisse to explore more radical styles, beginning a fruitful rivalry between the two leaders of modern art. Charming in this auctioneers, Picasso achieved global renown and immense fortune for his revolutionary artistic accomplishments and became one of the best-known figures in 20th century art. More good news on this date memorial. The Edelweiss Pirates, a loosely organized youth movement in Nazi Germany, which assisted army, deserters, and others to hide from the Third Reich, fell under a Nazi crackdown in 1944. The double album Electric Ladyland by the Jimi Hendrix Experience was released in 1968. The Yom Kippur War between Israel and a coalition of Arab states officially ended with a ceasefire, which paved the way for subsequent peace processes like the 1978 Camp David Accords that led to the return of the Sinai to Egypt and normalized relations. First peaceful recognition of Israel by an Arab country in 1968. Latvia established its first post-Soviet constitution in 1978. British crime rates reached their lowest levels in 20 years. 2021 Kazakhstan celebrates Republic Day 24 years ago today. Microsoft released Windows XP, one of the most widely used operating systems in the history of personal computing. Released to critical acclaim, CNET described it as worth the hype. The performance improvements of XP in comparison to Windows 2000 and Windows ME were also praised, along with its increased number of built-in device drivers in comparison to 2000s. A screenshot of Windows XP Server Pack 3 with the default Luna theme showing my computer. Microsoft commercial license, officially replaced with Vista in 2066. XP was still the most used Windows OS and continued to be for 6 years after Vista's release and 3 years after the far superior Windows 7 was released in 2009. By January 2014, after Windows ended all support for Windows XP, it was estimated that more than 9 of the 3 million automated teller machines in the world were still running it. By May 2017, around 60 of the 220 of ATMs in India were still running XP. By that same date, 49 of all computers in China ran XP. And even as late as September 2022, the majority of PCs in some countries such as Armenia still appeared to be running on Windows XP. It goes to show that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 15 years ago today, the Ouspensky Cathedral was inaugurated in Helsinki, Finland. The main cathedral of the Orthodox Church in the country. It was designed by the Russian church architect Alexei Gormastiev, who also designed the Sveta Lavra in Ukraine. Ouspensky took its name from a native word for the Dormition, and another connection with Ukraine lies in it being built from 700,000 bricks from a demolished Crimean fort lost by the Russians during the Crimean War. Ouspensky Cathedral CCSADAGO del Sova Cathedral is set upon a hillside on the Katajenica Peninsula overlooking the city. On the back of the cathedral, there is a plaque commemorating Russian Emperor Alexander Roman II, who was the sovereign of the Grand Duchy of Finland during the cathedral's construction. The main cathedral of the Finnish Orthodox Church in the Diocese of Helsinki, Ouspensky Cathedral is claimed to be the largest Orthodox church in Western Europe. 1868 on this day, in 2010, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Salvatore Giunta, 22, repeatedly and without hesitation, charged into extreme enemy fire in Afghanistan to rescue wounded comrades. His heroic actions, which disrupted the ambush and foiled the capture of a wounded American soldier, earned him the Medal of Honor. 84 years ago today, Benjamin O. Davis SR became the first African-American to rise to the rank of Brigadier General in the U.S. Army. He rose from a private after serving in the war with Spain in May 15, 1878 to eventually serve as a corporal, a squadron sergeant major, a second lieutenant, a lieutenant colonel in 1972 and colonel in 1975, all in military theaters and bases around the world. He earned a Bronze Star Medal and later, for 4 years, he taught as professor of military science and tactics at Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. During World War II, he worked as assistant to the Inspector General, for which he was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal for exceptionally meritorious service to the government in a duty of great responsibility from 19,411,1940 as an inspector of troop units in the field and a Special War Department consultant on matters pertaining to Negro troops.
The initiative, intelligence, and sympathetic understanding displayed by him in conducting countless investigations concerning individual soldiers, troop units, and other components of the War Department brought about a fair and equitable solution to many important problems, which has since become the basis of far-reaching War Department policy.
His wise advice and counsel have made a direct contribution to the maintenance of soldier morale and troop discipline, and has been of material assistance to the War Department and to responsible commanders in the field of understanding personnel matters as they pertain to the individual soldier. 19.409 with the 11 photo by Tolstoy, CC license. Happy 81st birthday to English singer-songwriter and guitarist John Anderson, who co-founded the groundbreaking progressive rock band Yes in 1933. 2 years ago, Yes were finally inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame, and members performed for Roundabout, an owner of a lonely heart at the ceremony. A meditator for decades, Anderson this year released the most recent of his 13 solo albums,
entitled One That Is in Hand, because of the many musicians who play on it, including Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull, Steve